tackling another boring space today. It is this wall right here. This is the first wall you see when you come downstairs, and really there was nothing to it. So I'm excited to make this space a little bit more usable and a little bit more functional for my family. But of course, more than anything, I'm excited to thrift for this space. So I think it's about time we jump to that thrifting part.
Lazy Sunday mornings, hiding under covers. I don't mind staying in with you. Play your favorite movie, laying right beside me. I don't mind when it's just us two. That corner coffee shop we like to go. Late night walks with you to take me home. With you I never feel alone.
These little songs make me glad to call you mine. And you have got my head in the clouds.
1, 2, 3. All that I need is your body next to me on rainy days. Just need your company, don't need too much. Just your simple love and it's everything. The simple joy of hearing your voice every morning. I wake to a kiss on my face, so I don't need too much. Just your simple love and it's everything.
I'll do anything to get your attention. When you say you love me, I seem to ascend to the heavens above, where we fall in love. I don't know what I would do without you.
All that I need is your body next to me on rainy days. Just need your company, don't need too much. Just your simple love and it's everything. The simple joy of hearing your voice every morning. I wake to a kiss on my face, so I don't need too much. Just your simple love and it's everything. Don't you know that all that I need is your body next to me on rainy days. Just need your company, don't need too much. Just your simple love and it's everything.
Didn't get a lot of stuff, but I think that probably was for the best. I was primarily looking for art and things to hang on the hooks. Overall, I'd say I accomplished that. But yeah, let's jump into it. So first up are these two pictures. So it's funny, every single weekend that I went thrifting, I saw these. I fell in love with them a little bit more. And it's apparent to me that these pieces are not original. Whatever was in this frame was replaced with these items. I have to say, I really love it. It's a little bit different. I don't have a lot of art that's more like fabric and woven based. So this is definitely a departure from what I would normally buy. However, I think it's going to be perfect for the space. And it's funny because I hadn't settled on a color prior to me actually thrifting, but I am fortunate in the sense that I still think these will actually work well with it. I think it's going to play well with the color that I have on there, because I was doubting the color and then I put this up there and I was like, okay, that makes sense. That's all that matters. Even though it's a small scale floral piece, I will say the colors within it are very vibrant, which I actually love. It's enough to be an eye-catching piece, but not so much that it's overpowering. So I feel like it's a good balance for me. I feel like these are the pieces that honestly I was up in the air about when I first picked them up and decided to get them. But I think honestly at the end of this, one is all styled, these are probably going to be my favorite pieces. So these were $3.99 each. Regardless, cute. Also, whoever did it, kudos to them. Next two pieces are for my kitchen because I never could go thrifting for one room and one room only. So the first piece is this copper pedestal. I have been trying to implement copper a little bit more into my house. It's probably because it's very trendy, but I do really like how I've seen it styled, and so I'm trying to incorporate it into my own kitchen. This one is a little too perfect. And I say perfect because it's shiny. It's much more shiny than what I'm used to when it comes to vintage copper. I feel like a lot of things though, that if you love them, and you style them right, odds are that they're going to work in your space. So yeah, I really like it though. I love the fact that it's a pedestal piece, and I feel like this is something that I probably style on the counter or one of the shelves that I have up in the kitchen. I'm still working on the other part of the kitchen though. It's not completely done yet, so this will probably be a piece that kicks around for a little bit before it actually goes in the kitchen where it's intended. So this piece was $4.99, which I didn't think was awful. That's pretty decent, but I'm always keeping my eye out for copper pieces and vintage kitchen items, so hopefully I'll get lucky again and find other pieces like it. I also picked up this piece. This kind of looks like a wooden spatula to me, but it's kind of like a different shape, so I'm not entirely sure. It might be something else. It might be called something entirely different. Kitchen items is one of those things that I am not very knowledgeable on. It looks vintage, so it was $7.99. I think honestly fair would have been more like $4.99, $5.99, but again, I did pick it up, so I'm just the dummy who picked it up for that price. So, but yeah, really cool piece. Probably either in one of my utensil containers or hanging on my utensil rack. Next up is this piece right here. So I'm never lacking when it comes to like odds and ends and trinkets and just various things to like style shelves with. However, because I was thrifting intentionally for this space, I wanted to find other pieces. So I found this little piece right here. This one is adorable. I mean, it's styled like a picture. It's got the beautiful handle. So this was originally from Pier 1 Imports. It was for $4.99. The thrift store was selling it for $1.99. Not a terrible price. I like it a lot. And honestly, this is a perfect piece because the depth of my shelves is only 4 inches. So I needed to find small, narrow pieces to put on top of that shelf. Yeah, so surprisingly difficult, but thankful I did find this one because this is definitely one of those pieces I'm gonna put in that area. Next up is a basket. So I was actually looking really hard for things to like hang on the hooks. And I was going back and forth between this basket and a basket that had like florals in it. I kind of liked the arrangement, but ultimately decided not to get it. So I ended up grabbing this basket. Now I thought this basket was cute. I don't see baskets like this. And this was $5.99 by the way. So I thought it was really cool. It's actually perfect for hanging on a hook. The one thing that I will say that I'm not a fan of is the green bottom. I don't know if it was originally the same color, but this color green, this is nice. And then it's just like, bam, just cool blue green. Honestly, not a big deal though. And this is kind of a basket where I can store stuff in, whatever I feel like. I'm not too concerned about it. I think it will be fine. I think it will work. And honestly, a basket is exactly what I needed for this space. So I'm happy. Next up is a book. I picked up a vintage book because I love vintage books. However, spent more on this vintage book than I probably ever will. And the only reason why I did pay $5.99 for this is because it is a psychology book. It's called Elements of Psychology. So because it won't fit on the shelf, this is not something that I'll be using today, but I'm sure I'm going to find a space for it, probably with the collection of my other books that I've got. So on a different day, I had literally like 15 minutes of like time to go thrifting, so I went into the thrift store. I was actually on my way to go to a wedding, so probably not the best idea to go into the thrift store when I needed to be somewhere else, but thankfully I did actually go through rather quickly and get out in enough time while managing to still find some stuff. So I did find 3 books. There were more, however, I did not want to spend all the money on the set, but I made sure that I didn't break up the volumes of the set. So I've got these books which are called Pocket Library of the World's Essential Knowledge. So I did get the only version that they had of literature, so it's the outline of literature part 2. Fortunately, there was no part 1. And I got the outline of history part 1 and part 2. They're perfect for this shelf that I have, so I'll explain it in a little bit, but color-wise, it might not work in this space. However, still really cool nonetheless. But these were $3.99 each. The gold lettering and the details is absolutely beautiful. Honestly, what drew me. Overall, just really love the style of it. So I think they're going to be well worth it in the end. Okay, and last but not least is this mirror that I got while shopping in 15 minutes time. This was one of the things that I originally picked up and thought this would be good for this wall right here. But changed my mind. I feel like this one is actually going to work well in another space where I'm already working with mirrors. And down here I'm going to use another thrifted mirror that I have. The other mirror is just a little bit better for the space, and time will tell if that is actually accurate. I think it's a beautiful frame. This color actually would work well down here. I think it would work better in a different area though. So this mirror was $7.99. $7.99 I think is fair. I don't think that's an awful price. So that is it. That's what I thrifted. So it's been 3 weeks of starting this project. I finally finished the entire space. So last minute split decision, but I changed the color that I had in mind. Let me stop talking in circles though and just show you. When I was painting this, it started to look brown and I was instantly regretting my choice. Thankfully though, after some time, now that it's all painted, second coat is on, and of course it dried, it looks less brown in my eyes. So the color is growing on me. I don't know a lot about color theory, but I feel like I can make it work with the things that I'm gonna pair it with to at least skew it to more gray than the brown that I'm kind of seeing. So I'm gonna start by grabbing some of the things that I already have on hand, and then we're gonna get to decorating. So let's get started.
8 a.m. I couldn't fall asleep again. Been overthinking all the little things I've said. I'm sleep deprived almost every night, and I wish that I wouldn't think instead. I know the sun is up and I got things to do, but I don't think I've got the energy to move. And I go back to my dreams again, but I shouldn't be sleeping when it's daylight now and I'm stuck in my bed. Daylight now and I'm stuck in my head. 'Cause I've been stressing out all on my own when I should make my way out. Home is daylight now, gotta open my eyes. Daylight now, can't be wasting.
I haven't decided if I want a dark rug or a lighter rug in here. For now, I think it looks good, but everything else is styled. Aside from the rug, everything has been thrifted. I am now in love. Color, the styling, gotta give credit where credit is due. Thrifting came in clutch in this one.
But it's keeping me feeling so amazing. All going stretch, brush my hair, always looking like a mess. Oh, and maybe I could go and do the rest. Give it a little more faith, I'll be set. And I hope that you'll miss it as it's daylight now and I'm stuck in my bed. Day and night, never feeling my best. I know, oh well, but this time will not be the same.
So a weekend project might have turned into 3, but after seeing the thrift finds in this space, it made it all worth it in the end. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!